I'm Chris Cisnowski, and this short video is going to talk about the Verizon HTC Thunderbolt um, evaluation. I've had the phone now for about, I guess it'd be 6 days. And I've made a few notes on how the phone works, and I just wanted to test to see how the different features worked on the Android operating system, and following are some of my comments. So overall, the Droid performance really beats the pants off of anything I've ever had on a Windows phone or other operating systems on the phones I've had in the past. The darn thing just works. It's quick. I didn't really find any failed apps. It never really locked up on me, although there was a couple of times for about 3 or 4 seconds that I couldn't click on something on the home window, but I just waited and it eventually worked just fine. The phone seems very, very stable. It comes with a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which is great. So there's plenty of storage on the phone to load up apps or videos, music, whatever your fancy is. The phone calls were quick, easy, and reliable. I'm so used to on my previous Windows phones having to press the end key 3 or 4 times before the phone responds and actually hangs up the phone call. So it was encouraging to see that accidental dials can be canceled really, really fast. In fact, I pressed the end button 3 times thinking it was going to take a few times to end, and it actually ended the phone call and started a new phone call and ended the next phone call in that short period of time. The dialing controls are very simple and intuitive. Essentially, you've got your 10 buttons you can press with the alphabet on it to look up contacts characters. Some of my contacts are characters. Voice quality during the phone calls is very good. It's better than past phones I've had, but of course it's still voice quality. So unfortunately, the phone has a fair bit of bloatware installed that you simply can't remove. You go into the apps control on the phone, and you cannot remove a lot of the apps that Verizon has installed, and unfortunately a bunch of those apps are demo apps. They're games, they're cutesy little things that in my opinion just take up room on my app screen. I'd love to be able to remove them, but I couldn't. I did find a lot of good software. As you know, the Android operating system is pretty hot, and so there's a lot of things inside the Android market that you can buy. The battery life is not terrible, as a lot of people report it, but it's definitely not awesome either. The phone's got a lot of capabilities. I used the phone pretty heavily starting at about 7 o'clock in the morning. The battery was fully discharged by about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. So I could not use the phone for 12 hours when I was using the different media capabilities and actively using email and surfing the web. So my experience with it on the weekends when I was using it a lot lighter was the battery lasted just fine all day. The phone charges with a micro USB jack, which is great. It's about time all of the vendors standardize on something to make it easy for us to charge our phones in the car, at home, from your computer. Right now you can get a lot of different accessories that charge via USB. Unfortunately, where I live, I have yet to see any 4G service on it. I live in the McHenry County in Illinois, and I had the phone down in Springfield, Illinois during a conference for a few days. And in my commute there and back, the times when I was looking at the phone and using the phone for different things, I never saw 4G service. Again, I was not closer to the city, so Verizon does report that they have 4G service in Chicago and around O'Hare. I haven't been around there, so I haven't been able to see that. If you're used to the Windows operating system or the Palm operating system or something else, the Droid OS will take some getting used to. A lot of things are differently. Google has gone ahead and entirely rewritten an operating system for a phone. They've done an excellent job, but for those of us that are used to other operating systems on phones, it does take a bit of getting used to. They kind of hide a lot of the details. In my opinion, there's less detailed control, but most everything is easier and quicker to do. A few functions seemed a little bit more difficult to get to than my Windows phone, actually. I know that probably offends some of you out there, but I actually thought my Windows phone did a couple of things better. But I think that just has to do with the fact that I'm very used to the Windows operating system on the phone. So I would imagine another week or so and I'll have the hang of this phone too. Surfing the web was unbelievably awesome. It has full flash support. I never found a website that was really broken. I probably went to about 2 or 3 different dozen websites. All of them looked great. I had 3G service where I was going, so I was able to download the websites quickly. Functioned very, very well. The browser is fast. Tabbed browsing works well. I really didn't have any complaints in the browser at all. Our company uses an Exchange server, and so I set up the Active Sync portion of the Droid operating system to sync with my Exchange mailbox. It was unbelievably easy to set up. It was as simple as entering in your username, your password, checking a box, hitting next. It pulled down all of my settings. It did take me just a minute to realize that I could reach all of my different Outlook folders. I just had to click on a navigation button to get there. Tasks are definitely not supported in the sync profile there, so if you're using Outlook tasks, you will not be able to get them automatically through over-the-air syncing. It does have built-in Active Directory Exchange address book lookup, so when I was looking for certain contacts in my contact list that were in my corporate address book but weren't in my phone's address book, you simply click a little icon that looks through your company's address book, and it worked just fine. It actually, in my opinion, worked better than Microsoft's own implementation on their Windows Mobile 6 devices. It does not support syncing some of the features and settings inside of your appointments. I'm a big user of Outlook appointments. I have literally hundreds to thousands of appointments in my calendar at any one time, and I use the free, busy, and out of the office capability inside of my appointments to let my coworkers know when I'm available for meetings and such. And unfortunately on the Android OS, or at least on this phone, there's no way to see whether it's a free, busy, or out of the office appointment. So even if you have a day-long appointment that's shown as free, I use that for some simple reminders. It will show up as time that's booked on your phone. Again, not a deal stopper, but something that I definitely found was annoying. There are the ability to sort contacts by last name, first name, although it did default to saving it by first name first, which I was a little irritated with, but was able to switch that pretty quickly. I do have photos that are linked to some of my contacts inside of Outlook, and those photos actually synced just fine with the phone too. I was able to pull in the relatively small JPEGs, and it just worked where somebody called me and I had caller ID with a picture on it. So the media capabilities on this phone are unbelievable, unbelievably easy to use, unbelievably quick to use, unbelievably efficient, and unbelievably compatible with pretty much everything I threw at them. Without reading any manual or downloading anything, I was able to snap a dozen or so pictures on my phone. I actually was able to edit these pictures, including cropping them, spinning them, sliding them, adding some effects to them, changing the color, the exposure, all on my phone, saving the picture. It automatically saved a copy of the original picture for me, which was great. I then sat down on my couch at home, connected to my Wi-Fi network. In about 15 seconds, it automatically discovered my media-capable devices I had on the network, and I was able to play the slideshow from my couch over Verizon's network, over my Wi-Fi network, onto my TV and my Denon tuner. So I was able to actually look at these pictures I was creating in a slideshow. It set them up. It was great. My wife was very impressed as well. It was pretty neat. I then was playing around a little bit with the ability to open up Microsoft Office documents. I have a number of Excel and Word documents that I got emailed to me. I was able to, all of them were in Word or Outlook 2000, Word or Excel 2007 format, so the XLSX and DocX format. I simply just tapped on the attachment, automatically opened in the Office suite that came with the phone. I was able to look at the file, zoom in, zoom out, pan around. Not a lot of advanced editing capabilities or a lot of advanced capabilities inside of Excel, although I was able to do a few quick algebraic equations inside of Excel, which all worked well. So it looks like that support is pretty good. It does come with Adobe Reader for the Droid OS on it as well. That worked great. I've used a variety of different PDF applications on my Windows phones. The one that shipped with my previous phone was terrible. It was slow, it was kludgy, hard to zoom in and zoom out. This phone has an unbelievably large screen, which made it really easy. I was actually able to turn this to the phone sideways to the widescreen mode and look at my PDF and actually read it in somewhat comfort and be able to zoom in, zoom out very quickly and easily. It didn't have any problems opening some larger PDFs, which I've had problems with on past phones. They all looked great. I really didn't do a lot of advanced stuff with it, but the basic functionalities for most corporate users should be great. Rounding out the end of my review, the navigation and search features, as you would guess on a Google operating system, were great on this phone. There is a handy search button, kind of a hardware button on the bottom right-hand corner of the phone that worked very well. In different applications, it opens up the search box, or you can just hold down the search button and it'll actually activate the voice search feature, which I used to find a restaurant in Springfield. It grabbed it the first time. I used it to find something on the phone. It grabbed it the first time. Very intuitive to use. Again, the search features were extremely fast, very accurate. So the voice control works great. The last thing which was new to me was actually the on-screen keyboard. I know that's been around a long time with the iPhones and the different things like that. It was new to me, but I found it pretty intuitive to use. I'm not very good at spelling things correctly the first time because my thumbs ended up hitting the characters, the letters right next to some of the characters. But that actually worked really well. It corrected about 85%, maybe 90% of the words that I mistyped because of missing characters automatically. So, and the few words that it didn't know, it automatically adds to the custom dictionary without any hassle. So my overall review of this phone is it's a great phone. It seems solid. I didn't have any buggy experience. I didn't have any apps that didn't work. The battery life on the phone, again, could have been a little bit better, but I was beating on it pretty hard all day long. So overall, I'd give this phone 4.5 out of 5 stars, and great for corporate users. And I hope you found this useful. Thanks.